Hey everybody, this is Joe. Thank you for watching my Giga-Texas construction update video.
Hey everybody, I'm back out here at Giga-Texas, and this is a very special day as I'm about to go on a pretty interesting tour here through the factory and see some, let's say, new sites and new areas of the factory that all of us are going to be very interested in the very near future. Now, I did get here early and flew the drone today, got a nice sunrise, and also got a chance to see some of the production gearing back up for another very busy week. Of course, we know that with the new all-wheel drive standard Cybertruck, all eyes are on this factory to see what is going to happen with production of the Cybertrucks here. And hopefully we're going to see a lot more of them being produced as the interest in the Cybertruck really increases with that 59,990 version of the Cybertruck. Now, I did also get a chance to see some of the Cybercabs over at the crash test facility today, and because it's early and it's pretty cold this morning, got a chance to see what Cybercabs look like with frost on them. And I think that these are production, early production versions that are going to be crash tested and just make sure that everything is good to go. We are about 5 weeks away from production for the Cybercabs, which is really getting exciting, and I know everybody's waiting to find out what's going to happen with the Cybercabs as well. I also got a chance while I was here to visit the Cortex 2 and all of the facilities over here. You can see the cooling towers for the chiller plant being built, and there's still a lot of activity going on there with getting Cortex 2 ready to go, and they're still shooting for this summer when Cortex 2 comes online. And of course, the last major thing that you'll see in the drone shots here today is just all of the clearing that is going on all around the site to prepare for some major construction for some pretty large new infrastructure projects that are well underway. So for right now, that's about it for the intro. We'll give a chance to see what Giga-Texas looks like from the drone point of view today, and hopefully I'll have a few other things that I can talk about a little later about the tour that I'm getting ready to go on. But very exciting, and appreciate Tesla inviting me here to take a look at what is going on inside the factory, and just looking forward to that. So anyway, without further ado, let's get in the drone, fly around, see what Giga-Texas looks like today.
If you would like to support my efforts, please consider using these links, which will be in the video description. If you are interested in Tesla products, you can help yourself and support me by using my referral code. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons on my YouTube video, as this helps as well. Thank you. My drones are ready and raring to go. Let's go flying over Giga-Texas. What a beautiful way to start the day with a nice sunrise. And we're going to start up on the northwest side here on the site, looking at this staging yard where the trucks are, but also where the rental equipment lot is being moved to. Again, this is coming from the northeast side of the battery cathode plant in that lone tree field, and all that equipment and the operations are being brought here to allow for construction. We'll talk a little bit more about that later in the video. But as we pass over, all of the steel being stored here in this lot, of course, the ever-present Evapco fans and base units and all the other pipes and associated equipment. We're going to cross over the road here, look at this staging yard. Again, some of the materials you can tell here, some steel, some other pipes, a lot of containers for equipment. Of course, the two tents, and just to the south of the tree line is all those racks for the castings. We also see some of the kind of dollies or the mounts on the ground here next to the casting racks, and then there's more that have been brought into this field. Now, this eventually will be developed for a welcome center, but that will probably be a little bit later as Giga-Texas and Tesla are focusing on other construction. At the end of line and also the north part where the direct delivery, you see the semi is standing guard, more vehicles being prepared for that delivery event. And as I understand it, the delivery event here at Giga-Texas is becoming extremely popular, and so much so that we're going to see an enhanced amount of that happening here at the site over the next several months and well into this year. Now, speaking of production, there are many vehicles here waiting to be picked up. A lot of red ones here today on the bottom of the screen coming into view now, and I think they're all performance ones, or at least some of them are, and a lot more being loaded up onto the trucks to be moved off-site and off to customers. So hopefully that will happen quickly for those who are waiting for their vehicles. As we cross back over this road, take a look at this construction site. It looks like they have spread some dirt and gravel across the entire area and developing some place for the road at the top of the screen. As we kind of pan the drone towards the south, good view of the items that are being stored here. Of course, all of those transformers. Seems like there's even a few more that have been delivered here as they are kind of taking up more of the space. Of course, that new workshop that we just passed and other equipment being stored around this part of the site. As we pass over all of these items here for the 4680 part of the factory, hopefully we're going to start seeing a lot of this moved into the factory and installed. As there is space, and it's about time for that to happen. Just waiting for the opportunity for that to be moved inside. As we pass over this kind of field at the bottom of the screen and also this contractor parking lot as it continues to be modified by removing a lot of the gravel here on the top surface. You also see the excavation at the top right of the screen. I think that we're going to see maybe something new here being constructed, and I'll continue to try to look for the permits to find out exactly what that is going to be. Now, this area here is going to be also reconfigured as a logistics lot, maybe even some parking. And we'll continue to watch and see what is moved here and how they prepare the rest of the site for some of the major construction that's going to be happening all around, especially on the east and north side of the factory later this year. Of course, more of the equipment being stored here underneath the power lines. Some more of the pipe segments here at the bottom of the screen, and the white wrapped items look very similar to some of the HVAC items that we are starting to see accumulate over by Cortex 2. But a really good view here of all of the materials at the underneath the power lines on this part of the site. Now I'm going to fly back over the West Warehouse on wheels. And this is one of the areas that I keep a kind of a loose look at over time just to get a feel for how the operations are going. All of this is items that are stored until it's needed for production, and it also helps speed the process of bringing items to the factory and then taking the empty trailers back to the suppliers. And as continue to see more of the production ramping up, the way that that operates, the number of trailers and the frequency of being changed out will be an indication of how things are going with production. Now at the superchargers, did notice that there is a Cybercab here getting supercharged. And as I kind of maneuver around here, it's a good view of what it looks like. And with this view in, you can see that there is a steering wheel here that would indicate that's an engineering one for testing, maybe for also driving around Austin as testing out the robotaxi fleet. And it looks like there's a couple of employees in there right now. The other thing to notice is those mismatched wheels. That seems to be the actual wheels that are going to be used for production. And then they'll just be covered with the plastic wheel covers, which will be the same color as the vehicles themselves. But for right now, they're just driving them around without the wheel covers as part of that testing for the engineering. As we wrap around to the east side and fly up towards the north, you can see those 4 sorting lanes, the employees waiting for the vehicles to arrive autonomously. Once they are checked in, they continue autonomously around the cones and prepare to enter into the building for that final processing. You can see several vehicles on the way right now, all along that road off to the south and the Cyber Tunnel. So I'm going to get ready to cross over the highway, and we'll take a look at the west side of the main factory. We see the Cybertrucks bringing the racks for the castings, and those are taken down to the production part of the factory to build more of the Cybertrucks. We just saw a Model Y exiting the factory exit point. That's where this ramp is located. And at the moment here, I'm trying to avoid the sun, which is just peeking over the parapet wall of the building. At this moment, I didn't see many vehicles coming out, but I would see the vehicles coming out all the time, so I know we just timed it wrong for that particular moment. So I'm going to fly a little bit further to the south of the main entrance to show you this. It's a brand new charging center that has been constructed. We saw some of that work about a week and a half ago with the cutting of the concrete. Now it looks like it's very close to being completed. More deliveries here to this ramp and going into the factory. And as we continue to fly to the south, one of the things that I noticed, and I just wanted to get a closer view of, is the work on the berm on the right, with much of the water pipes that are being moved all the way around the site, going down this part of the berm. And of course, underneath the ground here is where we have that very large vault and the caisson, and also a tunnel that goes across the intersection just to the left of the screen and connects into another caisson to the south side of River Road. Nice view from a higher altitude looking back across the main factory. Now, today when I was doing the tour, there was another tour group going on for the Tesla owners of Florida, and they got a great tour of the Model Y and the Cybertruck lines. But anyway, many of the people in that tour group asked me about this south-facing part of the factory with all the glass. And I thought I would just address that here again. This is an extension to the original building. It's about 400 feet longer than it was. Inside that extension is Cortex 1, which is the data center that does the training for full self-driving. Also, a lot of the cooling systems, heat pumps, and heat exchangers, all of which connect to the 6 fans that you can see in operation right now, and that helps cool that data center. There's a lot of extra space in there, and I think eventually it'll be developed for other purposes, possibly even office space at some point in the future. Now here at River Road, the extension, we see some of the purple pipe getting set to be installed all along the extension of the road. Now, just a piece of information is Tesla has their own road team, so it's in-house, and they're the ones that are building this extension. And because of that, they will work on it and do the road work and extension as their other duties allow. So we're going to see this going on for quite some time. Here at this staging yard, a good look straight down at all the items that are being stored. Some of them are still production line equipment that is waiting to be moved into the factory. And a nice view here with the zoom in of the east side of stamping. Some of the items in the crates that have been delivered waiting to be unpacked and move inside. Some other work still being done on the ground near the wall in the top left of the screen. Of course, more of the items, some of which are scraps from the stamping process in the bins getting ready for recycling. As we pass those 2 vertical tanks, that's where the Cybercabs come out of the production line. It's the exit point for the main factory. And all along this side through the multiple floors of the building up to about where the receiving docks are on the left-hand side of the screen is where the Cybercab production line runs. As I pull back, I wanted to show you the excavation work here. This is for electrical conduit that wraps around the lot here, and it will provide power to the wind tunnel and also for some of the temporary trailers. And that goes around where this helicopter pad is located. Of course, you can see the wind tunnel in the center of the screen and that blast wall at the kind of right-hand side of the screen. Some more glass being stored. And as I kind of pan up, a great view of all of the vehicles being stored here on this side of the site. So I'm going to get ready to kind of maneuver around on this material storage yard here, also Robotic Avenue at the bottom of the screen. And let's proceed over to the clearing and River Road extension on this far southeast side. As I mentioned, they are working to extend River Road through this location. You can see the darker color dirt where that will eventually be located. Also, the silt fence off to the left next to the trees. There does appear to be some sort of excavation work being done in the graded location. You can see that excavation work underway right now in a dump truck. What the purpose of this, I'm not really sure. But eventually, I think they're going to be using part of this kind of triangular section where that excavation work is being done to relocate more of the workshops, materials, and other equipment. And great view here along the side of the right-hand side of the screen next to the tree line. Eventually, this is where River Road will run all the way through this area. Now, this graded section in the middle with the extra dirt looks like they are continuing to make progress, getting that grade level and leveling it across the rest of the site. That work is definitely continuing. As we fly along the power lines, we'll get to this large mound of debris. Some of it is concrete. Much of this is being moved up to the concrete crushing operation that we will see here momentarily. And of course, most of the dirt is also going to be reused. Some of it may be helpful for some of the construction that's going to be happening up to the north end of the facility. Now, the building here and the kind of the structure at the bottom of the screen, still waiting for it to be demolished. And pretty much all the operations here for the maintenance facility for the concrete trucks has been removed, all of the power and utilities as well. Now, while we're here, I'm looking back towards the battery cathode plant. We can see the crash test facility and also that new ATD or crash dummy lab is getting some of the wall decking installed right now. And they've put some of that on the wall facing the crash test itself. And this is really moving along quite quickly, as you can tell. Again, this is going to be part of the operations for the crash test dummies that are used during the crash testing. Speaking of which, many of the vehicles on the side of the building here are vehicles that have had crash testing done. You'll see Cybercabs intermixed all the way through here. In addition to that, on the north end, we see 4 more Cybercabs. Because it's early in the morning and it's cold, we'll see frost on the window and on part of the roof. And as we kind of maneuver around, a few other things that we can notice is that they've got that tow strap on the front bumper. That is for crash testing. The stickers on the tires, the wheels are the production wheels without the wheel covers. And as we continue to maneuver around, we can just get a really good view of what these production Cybercabs look like, and this is representative of what is coming off the production line right now. For the next few weeks, they'll be using a lot of the production inventory to do crash testing, and that's part of continuous work to not only to be able to certify the vehicles for operation in the streets, but also to continue that iterative development process that they are using. While we're also here, I'll kind of maneuver around, try to avoid some of the early morning sunlight and show you the work that is being done here on this side of the site next to this pond. And you can see the excavation work heading off to the right-hand side of the screen through the trees. A lot of this area is going to be developed and then eventually become that River Road extension, and it will come all the way along this side of the pond and then work its way up to the trees that you see in the kind of upper right of the screen, and then enter into Lone Tree Field, which is at the top right of the screen. So I'm going to zoom in and just show you what's going on with the rental equipment lot. You can tell that more of it has been dismantled. Most of this equipment is moving to that new lot right by Tesla Road. All of this entire field, including that depression, is going to be developed here for major construction coming up later this year. All of the mounds that we saw at the top of the screen are to prepare for that construction. And then here is the Lippmann crushing operation for all of the old concrete, and they're currently working on a lot of the rebar at the bottom left of the screen and much of that kind of aggregate material being piled up here. We also note that some of it has been already moved away, as you can see the kind of the divot into that large pile. And a great view of more of the operation underway with bringing some of this debris onto that. Still a long way to go because of the entire amount of debris that needs to be broken up. As we get in closer, I'll just show you what's going on with the transformers here. Looks like there's a new grouping, so I think maybe a few more have arrived. These are all going to be on the west side of Cortex 2. And the work to get the platforms for them is well underway, which we'll see here momentarily. On the north end of the building, there is more paving work that has been done, some deliveries, and you can see that being taken out of the truck. Plus, on the bottom center of the screen, where they have more of that paving that's come around the east side of the building. Here's a lower view of what is going on here, plus some of the pipe deliveries with the yard truck on that trailer. That's coming from that east side place, the workshops where they are manufacturing and fabricating much of these pipes. Here's a great view of some of the earthwork that is being done on the east side of Cortex 2, many of the pipes and other concrete segments as well. I'll come back in, a nice view of the work that is going on here. Looks like maybe they're preparing for more asphalt, maybe a road at the bottom right of the screen, and then more trench work here in the middle section of the site. Part 2 of the cooling system is really coming along. All of the slab work and the perimeter walls are completed. You can see the 6 major sections, and it looks like it's very close to being able to get the fiber reinforced polymer beams to begin the superstructure construction that would mimic what we already see directly ahead. Now, there is more asphalt being laid down here between the die shop on the left and the cooling system on the right. Also, the 14 megapacks and electrical systems underneath the drone, and all the manifolds and pipes here between the cooling system and the main building. You can see the 4 fans and the enclosures, and then now the fiber reinforced panel polymer beams being installed for the 5th and 6th fan units is really coming along quickly. And we will see a little later in the video the fan unit enclosures where they are located. Of course, the temporary cooling unit is continuing to be installed with those 12 trailerized cooling fan units, and that is being plumbed in here through these pipes into this end of the building. And here's a good look at that work, the pipes, and some of the other tanks that are around this part of the site. As we continue to maneuver around here on the south end, here's a look at the excavation that is here, the very large at the bottom of the screen. I'm still curious what that's going to be. More excavation by the intersection on the left-hand side of the screen, which we just passed. And then now a great view of all of the cable trays that are coming up over the parapet wall into the building, down into where all of the megapacks are. Of course, the very large Saren's crane has been brought down, and part of that is because over the weekend the winds were quite high here around the area. As I kind of maneuver by showing you what's going on here on the west side with the switchyard, the megapacks, the trailers, and some of the intersections and guard shack at the bottom of the screen, I'll turn back around so you can get a good overall view of all the megapacks. All the work that's being done here with the piers at the bottom of the screen for the platforms and the beams for the megapacks and the electrical equipment. Also, all those transformers that we saw. We also see some additional work being done here next to these concrete vaults, and some of the piers have been added in further to the north. So that still has a lot of room for megapacks, perhaps another 100 to 150 megapacks once they are completed. There's a good view on the north side of some of the other activities, more of the trailers with the pipes that have been delivered. And as we fly over the north part and that water detention pond on the left. Thought I would give you a good view of what is going on here at the electrical switch yard. Now we see some more rebar cages on the left of the screen, also some pipes for the CFA pile drilling operation. Of course, next to the perimeter fence, we see the steel items for the A-frames, more of the concrete footings, all of which look like they're almost ready for the steel to be started to be installed. And as we continue to the south, we can see that there is some drilling work, auger work to the south of this slab and the catch basin. A couple of the grates have been put in for that catch basin. The rest are on the slab. And in addition to that, the blast wall between the first two large transformers has been completed, and they're beginning work on the ground for the blast wall between the second and the third transformer. So that will be installed and ready to go when the next transformer arrives. As I continue to maneuver over this temporary perimeter fence at the bottom of the screen, good view of the underground vault and the 3 control trailers. Also, the closer view of those 2 assembled now transformers, the work with the cable tray trench in the middle, and this connecting tunnel between the 2 underground vaults, and the cables that are being installed mostly on the south side still of that connecting tunnel. Did notice that here at the warehouse by the Megapacks there is some activity today, and maybe that's related to getting the Megapacks either fully operational or doing some more testing. It's hard to say for sure. I'm going to maneuver over towards this section. This is where we have the crane getting some of the materials ready for moving. The white boxes are HVAC units that will be installed on the roof of Cortex 2, and the smaller boxes that you see kind of with cardboard wrapping, and they're kind of square sections. These are the false floor for the west hall of the Cortex 2, and this is where all of the cabinets for the computer systems and the GPUs will be installed. The fiber reinforced polymer panels have been delivered here. We see some boxes with the electrical motors and drive units, and then here are the fan enclosures. It will be used for that 5th and 6th fan unit. And also it looks like there's enough perhaps to start getting ready for the north part 2 of the cooling unit. As I maneuver back towards the main factory, I will zoom in here, show you what's going on with the casting management section here on the north end of the factory. And there seems to be a lot of that going on here, more on the northeast corner of the factory, and of course more along the melt center of the casting machine section. You'll note that the recycled wheels is almost empty. Later on in the day, before I left, I saw that they were being replenished by having a recycle truck bringing in a full load of those alloy wheels, which are used to be melt down and make the castings. See a lot more of the Model Y castings here, and intermixed between the Cybertruck and Model Y castings were a lot more of the Cybercab castings. See some work being done here next to the secondary main entrance on that kind of construction entrance on the side. It's kind of fenced off, and we can see the work on the slab. It looks like maybe there's some rebar that has been added here very recently, so they may be getting close to having the concrete poured. So that's a quick look at Giga-Texas here on this Monday, the last work week of February 2026. And just the amount of activity going on, both with production, specifically with the Cybercab right now, also looking at the Cybertruck with that lower cost all-wheel drive version, and of course all the preparation for construction all around the site for some major construction projects. Just really a lot to keep track of, and I hope that you found all of this helpful and informative. As always, thank you very much for your support. I very much appreciate it, and I hope you have a great week ahead. Take care.